You are living in a universe that is older, dimmer, and quieter than the one your ancient cosmic ancestors lived in. 12 billion years ago, the cosmos was on fire. Quasars blazed across the sky. Galaxies smashed into each other constantly. Stars formed at a frantic rate. The universe was loud, hot, and violent in ways that would terrify any modern observer. Today, all of that is mostly over. The quasars have dimmed. The galaxy mergers have slowed. The star formation has crashed. The cosmos has entered a long, slow, eerie phase that almost nobody talks about. And the most disturbing part? Whatever replaced that era of brilliance is not just less interesting. It may be the universe's long, slow decline into permanent darkness. And we are riding it. Everything you've been told about the universe, that it is in a stable, eternal middle age, full of light and energy, is wrong. And the truth is far more terrifying. Because the universe used to be a wild, blazing, hyperactive place. The quasar epoch, roughly 2 to 4 billion years after the Big Bang, was the brightest cosmic age that will ever exist. After it ended, the universe entered a phase that astronomers don't even agree on what to call. A cooling, a settling, a long, slow burn toward heat death. And we are not just living through it. We are at one of its quietest stretches. And here's why this matters to you, right now, watching this. Because every night sky you have ever seen, every photograph of distant galaxies, every dramatic image from the James Webb Space Telescope, is dramatically dimmer than the same image would have been if taken 12 billion years ago. The universe you experience is a faded postcard of its former self. And while that may sound poetic, it has profound implications. It means that life forms emerging today, like humanity, are arriving very late to the cosmic party. Most of the universe's fireworks are already over. We missed them by billions of years. Here's what they taught you in school. The universe began with the Big Bang, expanded, formed galaxies, and is still expanding today. Stars are born. Stars die. Galaxies orbit. The end. Maybe a brief mention that the universe might end in heat death. Move on. Memorize the diagram. Move on. It's a tidy story, and it skips the most dramatic chapter the universe has ever had. Because the universe has had distinct epochs, different ages, each one with its own dominant phenomena. The very early universe was a hot, opaque plasma. Then it cooled and the first atoms formed. Then darkness. Then the first stars ignited in what astronomers call the cosmic dawn. Then the first galaxies formed. Then black holes at galactic centers grew rapidly, fed by abundant material, and lit up as quasars across the universe. That was the quasar epoch, the cosmic peak of brightness, the fireworks finale of a universe that was still young, dense, and chaotic. And then it ended. The rule of cosmology they want you to believe is this. The universe continues forever in roughly the state we see now. Stars keep forming, galaxies keep evolving, life keeps happening. Forget the past. Focus on the present. That rule misses what actually happened after the quasars dimmed. Detective work begins here. By tracking the brightness of distant galaxies and quasars across cosmic time, astronomers built a precise picture of when each kind of phenomenon was most active. Quasars peaked roughly 10 to 12 billion years ago. They dropped off sharply afterward. Star formation also peaked around the same time, with so much intense star birth happening that the era is sometimes called cosmic noon. After cosmic noon, star formation began a slow, accelerating decline. Galaxy mergers also tapered off as the universe expanded and matter became more spread out. In other words, the universe peaked, biologically, 12 billion years ago. It has been quietly losing energy and brightness ever since. And we live almost 10 billion years after that peak. The question every cosmologist quietly asks, the one that's now sharpened by the James Webb Space Telescope, is the one that recasts everything you thought you knew about your place in time. If the universe was so much brighter and more active in its youth, then what is the universe doing now? And what is it heading toward? Now, before I show you what changes everything, I need you to do something. Pause the video right now. Do you think humanity is living in a stable, balanced cosmic era? Or do you think we are living in a slowly dimming, decaying universe whose best chapters are behind it? Drop a Milky Way in the comments if you think we're in a balanced era. Drop a skull if you think we're in the long decline. Lock your answer in. I'll tell you which side the 2025 evidence is leaning toward, and I bet half of you are about to be very wrong. Because there are two competing theories on what really replaced the quasar epoch, and the difference between them changes how you see every night sky for the rest of your life. Theory A, the safe bet. We are living in a balanced, mature cosmic era. Yes, the universe is calmer than its youth. Yes, quasars are rarer. But the cosmos is still full of stars, galaxies, and ongoing activity. Many billions of years of star formation lie ahead. The universe is just hitting its stride. It is still middle-aged. Stop worrying. It's a comforting answer. And it's already being challenged. Because the data tell a different story. Total star formation across the universe has been declining for billions of years and continues to decline. Galaxy mergers are far rarer than they used to be. The amount of cold gas available for new stars has been steadily decreasing. Cosmic noon is far behind us. By many measures, the universe peaked long before Earth even existed. Everything since has been a slow, steady cooling. Theory B, the nightmare. The era after the quasar epoch is not a stable middle age. It is the long, slow opening of cosmic twilight. The universe is past its peak. Star formation is fading. The gas reserves needed for future stars are running down. Galaxy mergers are becoming rare events. The supermassive black holes at galactic centers are mostly sleeping. The cosmic energy budget is dwindling. We are not in a stable era. We are at the early stages of a multi-trillion-year decline that ends in heat death. If Theory B is correct, then humanity is arriving at the cosmic party very late. Most of the universe's bright, active, energetic phases are already over. We are sitting in the lull. And while that lull is long enough to feel eternal from our perspective, it is, in cosmic terms, the beginning of the end. You might think you're safe in your sense of cosmic stability. But here's the part that should rewire how you see every photograph of a galaxy you've ever scrolled past. In 2023, 2024, and 2025, the James Webb Space Telescope produced detailed measurements of how star formation, galaxy mergers, and supermassive black hole activity have changed over the last 12 billion years. The results were definitive. Each of these processes was significantly more intense in the past than it is today. The universe has not just been changing. It has been quieting. A 2025 paper synthesizing observational results from JWST and other facilities concluded that the cosmic era following the quasar epoch is best described as a long cooling phase. Total cosmic luminosity is dropping. Total mass converted into stars per year is dropping. Mergers are dropping. Active galactic nuclei outputs are dropping. By every measure that captures cosmic activity, the universe is winding down. A 2026 follow-up review went further. It concluded that, given current trends, the universe will continue to lose brightness and activity for many billions more years. The era we are in is not a temporary lull between bursts of activity. It is the early phase of a permanent decline. The next big cosmic transitions will not be flashy. They will be slow. The cold accumulation of dead stars. The dimming of galaxies as their gas runs out. The eventual evaporation of black holes over timescales so long they make the age of the universe look insignificant. That is what replaced the quasar epoch. Not another flashy era. Not a new kind of dramatic phenomenon. Just a long, gentle fade. The cosmic equivalent of a stadium emptying out after the concert has ended. The lights are dimming. The crowd is leaving. The remaining people are picking through the debris. And humanity is one of those remaining people. We arrived as the lights were dimming. We didn't see the headliner. We are picking through what's left, marveling at the leftover glow. Now zoom out. Way out. Past Earth. Past our galaxy. Past every galaxy you can see in the night sky. Imagine the universe across cosmic time. 12 billion years ago, a chaotic, blazing carnival. Today, a quiet, settled, mostly dim landscape. A few trillion years from now, even the longest-lived stars will have burned out. The sky will be black. Only black holes and dead remnants will remain. Then the black holes will evaporate. Then nothing will remain. The universe will not end with a bang. It will end with a slow yawn. And the era we live in, with its still bright stars and its still visible galaxies and its occasionally flickering supermassive black holes, is one of the relatively bright moments in that long fade. We are living in cosmic golden hour, not in cosmic morning, not in cosmic noon. In the late afternoon, the light is still beautiful, the colors are still warm, but the sun is sinking, and there is no sunrise to follow. That is what replaced the quasar epoch. The universe traded brilliance for time. It gave up its fireworks for a long, slow, dignified twilight. And humanity, by sheer luck or accident of timing, happened to evolve during a stretch where the light was still visible, where we could see other galaxies, where we could still wonder. So here's the question I want you to sit with. Is it better to know that we are living in a cosmic twilight, that the universe's best chapters are behind it, and that we are among its last great audiences, or to remain blissfully ignorant of how dim our skies are compared to what existed before us? Tell me below. I genuinely don't know which awareness makes the night sky more meaningful. If you want to uncover more disturbing truths about our universe, the ones space agencies whisper about but never put on the news, hit the subscription link in my bio to subscribe to our YouTube channel right now. You don't want to miss what's coming.